Saludos and salutations, Broncos country, and welcome back into another exciting episode of Broncos Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have a banger for you today? Bronco Libre is backstage right now, and we were just talking about the topic of today's show, which is basically, is Bo Nix going to be okay? I know we did talk about this a little bit last week. We tried to water down, I think water down is the right word, simmer or whatever you want to call it, the rumors that Bo Nix would possibly be hurt, because there's a lot of questions, especially with the ones pictures of his leg, of his ankle, the procedure that he had it after the surgery, and people want to know, is Bo Nix going to be okay? What is going on in Broncos country? Should we panic? Should we be okay? What the frick? So, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure your food is warm and your beer is cold, because you are not going to want to miss a single episode of today's show. And I know I said episode, I meant to say minute, but if you want, you can technically go back and check the other episodes after you see this one. But let me just say, for the record, if you do have any other podcast that you listen to besides this one, I urge you to please send your support to them, because it is very much appreciated. And speaking of support, whoever one-starred me on my this last week when I did Uber, I just want to let you know, I hope you stub your toe on something, because I feel like I give 5-star service to every single person I give a ride to. I have over 600 5-star reviews, and that one really bugs the frick out of me. And welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adan Diaz, and joining me to my left or right, depending on which direction you're watching, is my co-host, the one, the only, the incredible, my best friend as well as yours, El Bronco Libre.
What's happening, Broncos country? Are you ready for Bo Nix? Let's go.
And obviously, Bronco Libre doing the extended celebration of Cinco de Mayo, which was yesterday.
Did it already end? Like, I didn't know. I couldn't remember.
As long as you're Mexican, it never ends, bro. It's
That's
every day
right.
for us.
Like how the Americanos like to say, it's Cinco de Drinko Day, guys.
Cinco de Drinko. Did anybody come up to you yesterday? It's like, hey, Libre, you ready? You want to go get some tequila, bro?
Do you want some tequila? You know what my thing is at work? This is before my company went public, and we were a private company. We used to have a senior VP of client service that in his office literally had a liquor cabinet. Like literally had a liquor cabinet. So right about 3:00 every day, we can go into his office and say, hey, could we get a shot or whatever? Or could we get a drink? And they had no problem doing it. But since we become public, you know, the image of public companies, they have to protect them and so forth. So as soon as we went public, that stopped. But let me tell you, some of those days were the best, because and then also what was nice is at 3:00, they let us have a beer in hand, like to drink at the end of our day, because we were almost finishing up for the day anyway. So it was like perfect.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, before we get started, we got a couple of things before we get started with today's show. First of all, if this is your first time here, welcome in. If not, welcome back. Of course, we have these announcements to get done before we talk about the topic of today's show. So please bear with us as we chug along. First of all, we'd like to ask you for your support for us here. If you could subscribe, share, comment, and like on this and all of the previous episodes of the Broncos Talk podcast. on YouTube. If there's something you guys heard us say that you agree or don't agree with, please feel free to hit us up in the comment section and we will answer them ASAP. Your support is very, very much appreciated to help us get the word out to everybody in Broncos country that we are here. Ladies and gentlemen, also, just so you know, just so you know, we here at Orange and Blue and Broncos Talk are Mike Carmelini. We have the seal of approval, and I would show you right here, but I can't find it. But when I tell you it's on my Switch, it's on my Switch, and it's kind of messing up. As you can see, it's powering on and off, but it's in here. Okay, Mike Carmelini signed it himself, and he said that we are the coolest. We are the coolest podcast, Broncos podcast in all of podcast dumb, and we are on his top list of Broncos podcasts to prove it. So you don't need any more proof. Mike Carmelini, the name says it itself. For any business inquiries, you can email at broncostalk2020 at gmail.com. Audio listeners, regardless of what platform you're listening us to, please feel free to give us a 5-star review. It's much appreciated. You can also send us a screenshot of that review to our socials there at the bottom, and Libre and I would be more than happy to read them out loud right here on the air, as well as give you our thanks. Our Twitter handles are right there at the bottom, as I said. Mine is at a 6'10" Mexican. Bronco Libre is at Bronco Libre 5280. Ladies and gentlemen, this show and all the shows here on the Orange and Blue Network are sponsored by Dubby. If you don't know what Dubby is, it's basically got no sugar, no calories, no maltodextrin, no fillers, and no artificial colors. It's formulated with nothing but amino acids, B vitamins, and nootropics, including the Pandan Neurofactor nootropic, which is the caffeine, and it's derived directly from the coffee fruit. And just to show you how awesome Dubby is, right now, guys, if you use the code OBN10, you'll get 10% off your order at checkout. Again, that code is OBN10 to get 10% off all your favorite Dubby products at checkout. Shout out to Dubby for being a continuous sponsor of this and all the shows here on the Orange and Blue Network. Ladies and gentlemen, I know currently we are in the off season, but that's okay because the show schedule is still staying the same. So for those of you that don't know what's going on, even after you've been caught up with every single Broncos Talk episode, first of all, congratulations. Get yourself a bowl of ice cream as a celebratory on me. But there are other programs you guys can check out, especially during the regular season. And please keep in mind that the times I'm going to mention are in Mountain. First, you can catch the Orange and Blue Blitz every Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. On Mondays at 7, we have the Broncos Bros because do you even Broncos, bro? Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m., we have the flagship show, Nothing Rather Than Orange and Blue. On Wednesdays at 2:30, just before we go live on the air, we have the guys at the Mahai Symposium that are breaking down everything in Denver sports, not just the Broncos, but the Nuggets, the Avalanche, and the Rockies. On Thursdays at 7, we have the Mahai Outcast podcast. And then on Fridays during the regular season, every Friday, we have the Viva Los Broncos podcast, which airs every single Friday at 7 p.m. during the regular season. During the off season, Libre and I go live once a month. For any breaking news, the Fresh Squeeze podcast has got you covered. So make sure you hit that live notification button so that way you don't miss a single moment of the breaking news action in Broncos country. And during the regular season, we have the Get Buck pregame show where the guys get together and talk about all of the day's moments, news, and notifications before the start of every game. The Bucking Booth brings you the play-by-play action for those of you that are unable to follow or watch the game. And then the Buck Your Feelings post-game show after, regardless of the result, comes to you live with the guys coming back on and going over that day's events and looking forward to the next week's game. Oh, my goodness, Bronco Libre. Can I go home now?
Whew, I was just about to say if I could take a nap, bro. So I did get a little confirmation right now that we are going to have a special guest appearing here on the show here, talking about a super fan that does art and so forth. If you've been on the show here before, you know who he is. We're just waiting for him to jump on in with us, and we'll go from there once he does jump in. So we're good there. But you know what? I'm gonna take a nap right now. So when he gets here, just wake me up. Cause dang, all that reading that you just did got me tired, bro.
Johnny Baki works me like a dog. What can I say? Ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple people here in the comments. We have Martin Malhai. Salute to your brother. He says, Bo will be fine. And I agree. Jared Design saying he's going to be fine. He posted a video of him doing a sprinting drill on his Instagram story. So this question is Bo Nix going to be okay? Can and should stop and end there. With Martin High saying, I agree. He was playing a basketball game. Married with Drinks saying, what's happening? Ma High, salute to you. Married with Drinks. Thank you guys so much.
What? Lenny was just on the show with the Broncos Bros, and I commented on the show. And the funny thing that I love about all the guys, because they all say it whenever I say it, they hear me and they go, I could just hear his voice right now saying it. So again, here you go, Lenny. What's happening? But I think that was Sandy Lulu that was commenting there. But they both say the same thing too, because they can hear it. They say they hear it. So there you go again, guys.
I'm still waiting for my invitation to be on the Broncos Bros. My inbox is waiting, man.
Hey, I think just like the message like you missed and so forth on Twitter, I think you need to go check your missed Twitter's messages because they did send you the request.
I'm going to have to check it. Denver D. Mark saying, what's good, fellas? My high salute to you, brother. Thank you so much for being here with us.
What's up? Hey, do you even Broncos, bro?
Exactly, man. Need a beer in hand when podcasting, or maybe we're biased. Well, technically, here, I knew he was going to do that.
A beer in hand.
First of all, we are not sponsored by Corona, but Libre and I are big fans of Corona beer.
No, we're not. Stop
spreading
lies.
Yes, we are. So Corona.
It's Modelo time, bro.
Send us an email. Send us a deal.
Let's put out a pool out here tonight. Who would rather have a Modelo or Corona? I bet you Modelo wins.
Well, you got to make sure you're talking about the beer Modelo, not a Modelo. You know?
Hey, I just said Modelo. It doesn't matter what it is. Instagram, OF, lo que sea.
Yeah, the boss, Johnny Baki, jumping in saying, thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and sub. Exclamation. But to kind of give you guys, do that now. To kind of give you guys an idea of our show title, you guys have heard me say it before. Johnny's usually the one that does the show title, but I had to do it today, and I've been thinking about all day what the hell Libre and I wanted to talk about, and I figured we talk about this because even though we talked about a little bit about it before last week, I still keep seeing the same freaking notifications and stuff. But before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in our special guest. He was here a couple weeks ago with us, and he's jumping in back in. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a high salute to our good friend Notorious.
What's
How you guys doing,
brother?
How you doing, my brother? Thank you so much for jumping on with us. How are you tonight, man?
I'm doing really good. Thank you guys for the invite. I love being on the show.
Hey,
love it, bro.
We are always happy to have former guests on. They can come back anytime that they like.
Absolutely. So for anybody that has been watching the network here recently, he's been on other shows. He is currently in the running for the Johnny Depp Artist Award right now. So please, you can go out there on Facebook, you send up one like. It's one free like per day. Let's get him up there. I think the last time I checked yesterday was that he was in third place. But let's get him back up to the first position that he was at originally when we started the campaign for him. So if you haven't seen his work, you're definitely missing out, and you need to go check it out because he is a great artist. All Broncos players, everything like this, just the stuff that he does is phenomenal. So definitely go check him out, support him. Trust me, he's such a great dude. And time is ticking though, but we will get him there. We'll be waiting here for you once everything is said and done for you, brother.
Appreciate that, guys.
Well, just so you know, Notorious, I am saving up all of my pennies, and I am going to buy Johnny Baki out. You guys have heard it here first. I am going to buy the Orange and Blue Network. And when I do, there's going to be gigantic changes. All right. First of all, every host gets a lazy boy. on the house, on the
But
network.
my thing is, how are you gonna do that when you get 1 stars on Uber? Just
Hey,
saying.
when
Just
I find
saying.
out who that was, there's going to be hell to pay. All right. My 600 stars before that topple that 1 star. And again, I hope that person stubs their toe.
Right? Look at right there. Jay the Dream Weaver. What's a happening, brother? Thank you so much. It's little custom made. You know how to do it for what is it, a Cinco de Mayo thing that we did a couple years ago. So it's custom made. And yes, go vote, vote, vote.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you. I'm gonna hit you with a salute.
It's not for sale. How much money do I got? I got $25. $25
Look at
to buy the
look at Sandy
network.
Lulu. Look at Sandy Lulu. Or you can stop being cheap and go pay the $10 for the
That was
extra
for
10
more
votes.
likes.
You know what? Send me over your credit card information. I'll be more than happy to do it.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we love having fun on this show. But let's get to the topic at hand. So again, the only reason I decided that we should talk about Bo Nix today is just for the simple fact that I felt a whole lot better watching that video, and Libre reminded me of the video where Bo Nix is doing. It looks like he's doing suicide sprints or something of that caliber. Now, the whole him going back for the procedure that he had done, I think that's what confused a lot of people in Broncos country, guys, and just kind of had everybody freaking out. And rightfully so, because unfortunately, one of the things that a lot of teams love to do in this league, Libre, is they kind of like to hide injuries, or they're not always upfront about the health of certain players until the ish hits the fan. And when that happens, that's when we find out certain players, like we're playing with tore ACLs or MCLs or whatever, or that they were a lot more beat up than they let on. And right now, during the offseason, guys, is when it's the most important time for NFL players, because they have to, if they were hurt, they have to heal. If they were cut, they have to find another team, so they have to stay in shape. Like, there's a lot of stuff going around behind the scenes that, even though actual football is not being played, players are still, they have to stay relevant in this league, because we sometimes forget, guys, that this is a business. So when it's a business, obviously nobody's guaranteed that they're going to play for the team that drafted them throughout their entire career, or that some of them even stay long enough to have a career, because we see it every year. Not every player that gets drafted makes it all the way to the very end.
No, I agree with you 100%. But one thing that I also have to say is, like, whenever you go get a surgery and it's something that's foreign to your body, you're going to get scar tissue. So what I really think what they did was to clean up any type of scar tissue that was happening, just so that there's no where he can actually have full movement of his whole ankle and all that. So that's part of why I think that was something set up that was probably already set up and scheduled to go anyway after his surgery. So for me, that's what I think it was, even though they haven't said anything about that part of it yet. But anything from just knowing about people getting surgeries and doing all that, there's that scar tissue that always builds up, and sometimes it just has to be cleaned up. What do you think about it, Notorious?
So when it comes to that matter, one of my least favorite things is like all the Debbie doubters. They're just like, oh, he's probably not gonna play the whole season. He's probably out for the whole season. What are we gonna do? Yada yada yada. Like, as far as I'm concerned, like this is like a standard procedure that happens with like all athletes that have that same kind of injury. Um, there's no need to like panic. And plus, like, if he was really in bad shape, why would he post a video of him running?
Correct.
And if any of like the posts you see about him when it comes to like his teammates, his wife, like he's not on his scooter like how he was when we were in playoffs. So to me, you know, it's not it's not like a red flag or anything we should worry about. That's something you give like all the Skip Baylesses, the Nick Wrights,
Oh
uh,
God.
something to have their ego on. Like, oh, he's still not cleared. I guess they're not gonna make it to playoffs this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And the crazy thing about it, I will say, the beautiful thing, Libre, and I don't know if you've seen it too, but it's been just so fantastic that every single video I've seen where people have rated, like they have these early views of what teams are going to look like, you know, kind of like early predictions, if you will. The Broncos have topped every single one of those early predictions. Every single one that I've seen, the Broncos were number one. And not number one saying that they're going to do exactly what they did. They're going to be better than what they were. Now, again, these are early predictions, and early predictions are exactly what they are. That doesn't mean that they're going to be exactly right. But the fact that you have all these people, and these are people that are not Broncos fans, mind you, so it's not biased, okay, that are saying that the Broncos are going to be exactly who they are or better, then that to me makes me oh so very happy because I love seeing that type of mentality. Because one thing that we know, guys, is that the hardest thing to do in this league is to, if you were a good team or a great team last year, it is very hard to repeat that because injuries happen, players leave, everybody ages, nobody beats Father Time. There are so many variables that go into every single football season. And the Broncos, for the last couple of years, guys, have spent so much time at the bottom. All right. And every time they tried to claw their way back, it seems like they just got back, knocked back down again. Drafting Drew Lock and seeing where that went. Going after Teddy Bridgewater, seeing where that went. Going after Russell Wilson. That wasn't just a kick in the ass. That was like a Mike Tyson punch to the face where it literally brought down the entire Broncos country. And that whole 5-12 season really tested people's loyalty to this team because one of the things that me and Libre always talk about is the thing that really hurt me seeing is that Colts game and seeing all those people walking out of the stadium. And I asked Libre, were you one of the people that walked out with everybody else, Libre? And what did you tell me?
No.
And I was just like, and I'm sitting at home and I'm angry seeing these people leave. Like, you cannot just be a fan when the team is doing good, Libre. That cannot happen. And that really hurts.
So let me tell you, like, yes, I spend my hard money on these Broncos. And this is one thing that I've never done in my whole 15 years having season tickets is ever leave a game early. I've never, ever left a game early. And a good example as to why you never leave a game early is that Giants game last year. Because let me tell you, it was little more than 10 minutes left in the game when they scored that touchdown, and they were still up like 2 or 3 scores at that point. And people were walking out as soon as they scored that touchdown. Mass exodus happened, and I was telling this other this buddy of mine. Well, I only know him from the games, but him and his daughter was there. His daughter's about 7 or 8 years old, and I just turned around to them and I just told her, I go, and this is why you never leave a game early. And the dad goes, that's why we're here. And I go, exactly that. And I understand that. I go, I'm just reiterating, this is why you never leave a game early. You're witnessing history right now. And look, you're only 8 years old, and look at you're here to witness it. And they still consider that, as of right now, the best game so far here in recent memory of being there. But let me tell you, some of the games that during our losing streak, us already tailgating, the best part of the whole experience or the whole day was our tailgating. But going into the game, we already knew we were going to lose. We already knew we had no chance. Just sitting there and just watching it, and it was just like so bad. But never left early, always there the whole time. So that's one thing that I don't understand. Like, yeah, it's your own money that you're spending on these games, but why don't you stay until the end? I get it. You want to beat traffic, you want to do all that, but look at what happened. You missed something great.
Giants game this year will not be beat. What do you think, Notorious?
So kind of going off of what you guys said, I think one of the toughest things to see from, especially this season, especially as us as fans, is you know us kind of give up on the team before like even the first quarter. Because I've had friends too that like if the other team scores, they're like, oh, we're gonna lose, and it's like 0-7. There's still like 10 minutes in the first quarter. Um, I think when we were on that bit of a losing streak with the Colts, Broncos fans were already giving up,
Hmm.
um, which to me that's really hard to see. I've never once, you know, have been like, oh, we're gonna lose this season, because that's the negative thing to kind of say. You don't tell like your kids like when they got a soccer game, like, yeah, you guys are gonna lose,
Right?
but it's all right because I got a pack of Modelo in the car.
Modelo time.
But
I guess.
um, and kind of like what you guys said with the Giants game. Giants game proves that that there is mile high magic. I do believe in the saying of mile high magic because I've seen it so many times here when we went against San Francisco, our championship run, and Manning broke the record. I've seen it when it came to, even though we weren't playing them here, the Eagles, because everybody said there was no chance we were going to win. You know, Broncos kind of came back, I think, during the third quarter. And that kind of proved that, we're a championship team if we could beat the former champs of last season. So,
Hmm.
I mean, the one thing I would love to see, us kind of progress about, especially as a fan base, have faith in your team because, you talk to any of these guys about, Sean, about each other, there's a lot of faith behind it. You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's more that's the same kind of faith you see like in church and whatnot. But, you know, I want to see us change this negative mindset, improve, stop worrying about Bo, stop thinking that, it's over. That was all a fluke. Like, ask any analyst, it should have been Broncos versus Seattle. That's not me saying it as a fan. That's me saying it as a fact. Because
Everybody knows that, yeah.
yes, everybody knows you don't even have to be a fan. You gotta be a bandwagon, you know. And also, just like us for us too. Just don't put a Bronco jersey on because you think it looks nice or for fashion. And then the moment we're going down, you just take it off instantly.
Well, the unfortunate thing about that, Notorious, is that bandwagon fans have been around longer than any of us have been alive. Let's be
Mhm.
honest. And as much as you can, there's not much you can do. Bandwagon fans, unfortunately, that's all they love. They know how to do is they just bandwagon on the good teams. And this year specifically, it's going to be another big dose of that.
Mhm.
I will say, on the other hand, I do understand why people would be very concerned initially about Bo Nix's health because we have not had any type of momentum or joy or feeling of this sort. You guys have heard me say the names of the quarterbacks that have touched the football since Peyton Manning left, and none of those guys panned out. Not one. And the closest one who probably maybe would probably be Drew Lock, who ironically, as of this recording, is now a Super Bowl champion. Just,
He is.
just not with the team that drafted him. Um, but I just have a feeling that, and I tell Libre this all the time. Like every time Bo runs, he runs with the ball. I always freak out because I'm always afraid of what's going to happen. He's a runner now, so he doesn't have the same protections that he has as a quarterback. So it's like always trying to like, all right, Bo, you just need the first down, slide. Don't push your luck because some of these linebackers or safeties or secondary guys, they're trained to come and hit like a missile. All right. And the last thing we need is we don't need him to get hurt at all during the regular season, especially during the postseason. So It's okay to be concerned, but you also have to take that into consideration, Libre, that just because you see something or you hear something, if it's not a fact, to not get carried away and overdo it. So that's why I decided again, I'm repeating it again, why we should have this conversation to let Broncos country know that Bo Nix is okay. He's gonna be fine. The only thing that I can see can happen is that maybe he doesn't get that many reps during preseason. But then again, he should get enough where he doesn't develop any rust, in terms of, all right, remember what you did before you got hurt in that postseason game. Obviously, you have a new offensive coordinator, so you have to run all these new different types of plays. You have Jalen Waddle now to throw the ball to, so now you got to find a way where you can fit him in. But either way, guys, just having those guys out on that field week one, whoever we face week one is definitely going to have their hands full with this team.
No, I agree with you. But again, that's part of why we have this offseason now, is to help better our team itself. And I feel that the Broncos management has already done that. So now that Bo is not going to have to scramble that much. So hopefully that we have enough people that he's going to be able to get the ball to. We have Waddle, another weapon that he can throw to now. We added all this weapon, another running back during the draft. So I feel like with us having a three-headed monster in the backfield, we're going to be able to have that set up for Bo so that he's not going to be out there always scrambling for his life like he was there at the end of the year when teams took our running game out from him, where they forced him to actually run because we couldn't actually hand it off and run the ball. So what we've done, I think, has already helped that. So like, yes, I can see where you're saying, yeah, you can be concerned about it, but the team has already done enough, I feel like, to help ease that concern and say, look, we're getting the people in place to help Bo Nix so that he doesn't have to do that for this upcoming year, which adding Waddle already is going to be the best scenario right now because now we have options to pass. This last year, we didn't have all those options that we have that were available to us really because these guys were not truly proven. And now that we have him and these other guys, I feel like are going to excel and they're going to elevate their game now. And I'm excited to see that for this upcoming year as well. But going back to the message from Lenny and Sandy Lulu about being escorted out. He was talking the other day about being his dad leaving the game when he was like 8 years old, and his mom picking him up across the street on Federal on 17th Federal saying, "Oh, your dad's in jail again? Okay." So it was hilarious just knowing that the mom already knew, picking up an 8-year-old kid from the Broncos game. "Oh, your dad got arrested again, huh?"
uh, Notorious, what do you think about this comment here? Sean Payton ain't gonna play Bo Nix during the preseason, healthy or not.
I think he will. There's not much resources or anything else coming out about Bo not being healthy for the season. I heard a few things about him progressing actually faster than what they expected him to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, to me, it's just smoke and mirrors. Especially like if anybody else tells you like, oh, I don't think Bo's gonna make it to at least till week 5.
Yeah. And that's really what it is. It's just throwing that out there and having people guess what actually is happening with the team. You just throw out just a bit here and there just to throw people off. And it's a cat and mouse game and you'll see it from other teams as well. Just like what we're hearing with Patrick Mahomes. Like how they're already saying that he's going to be ready to be the week 1 starter. He's not. Like because of his knee injury how late in the season that it happened, and if they weren't worried about it, why go after Justin Fields? That's really the question. Is like, if you're not that worried, you're not going to go for Justin Fields, who has been a starter within the league on a couple of teams already. Why are you going after him that he has the experience for that starter part and not have that? Yeah, I know it's insurance, but again, we're talking about Justin Fields. You know this more than anything, Adon. He was there in Chicago with you. He was like your neighbor.
Pretty much. Saw him every weekend. And Mary with Drink says Sean never played Drew during the preseason when he was a gem. He shines it at practice, not games that don't matter. I understand where you're coming from, but we've also seen the other side of it. Remember when Russell Wilson and all those guys didn't play the entire preseason? And we just thought like, oh, he's Russell Wilson. He doesn't need to practice. He doesn't need to go out there and learn a new offensive scheme and new players and new teammates and none of that stuff. You kind of have to, and this is coming from a guy who used to think preseason games were like stupid. All right. You guys have heard me say it on the show before. I used to think that preseason games were just not needed. Like, what's the whole point? But this was before I actually understood that preseason games mean a whole lot more than a lot of people think, because this is a next man league. And as we saw this past offseason or postseason, sorry, when your golden goose, especially your golden goose, gets hurt, the pressure's on the next person. And again, Jared Stidham did the best that he could, and he had a week's time, which is more than a lot of backup quarterbacks get in terms of preparation. So every player is different, obviously. But again, I would feel a whole lot better if Bo Nix just went out there and got a couple reps in. And knowing him, even if Sean Payton goes and tells him like, hey, we're not going to play you during the preseason because we don't want to risk you getting hurt, Bo Nix doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would be like, okay, yeah, that's fine with me. That man, you saw the pain in his face, in his eyes, in that picture when they told him about his ankle and that he wasn't going to be able to play the following week. So he hurt just like the rest of us hurt in Broncos country. And if there's any player that's itching to get back on that field and throw and touch a football, it's Bo Nix.
True that.
And then D-Rock saying, oh, my high salute to you, D-Rock. We saw you earlier in the chat, sorry. He says, if Sean Payton does play Bo this preseason, it's going to be 1 or 2 series. Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree.
You know what? And I know a lot of people take preseason as how well the team is going to do. You have to remember that doesn't mean nothing. I remember, I can't even remember if the Broncos one time went 0-3 or 0-4, and we ended up winning the Super Bowl. But going back to the point about how important preseason is, it's important to teams or players that they have those practices to get in there, to get their body into football shape. That's why you're seeing like a lot of these injuries right now, because there's not that much preseason games anymore, which it looks like the NFL is looking to put in another game to the league itself and reducing the preseason. But that's where you get your body right for a lengthy season itself. And they're doing it to themselves. You see this all the time where they're hurting their hammy, they're hurting, something, ACLs or something like that. And it's happening to star players. Do you see if you go back to the 90s and 80s when they had 4 or 5 preseason games, how many injuries did they have? It wasn't that much because they were getting their bodies ready to go. Now you see it all the time with these players. But again, I feel like it's also with practices as well, because they limit the number of hitting that they do. I get it. They have the concerns with CTE, concussions, doing all that, which, it's thankful for these guys because yes, it's for their mental health now. And they didn't really care about that back in the day, to an extent, but that's, I think, part of it as well. You see tons of injuries now in today's game.
D-Rock jumping in saying, totally forgotten Mahomes ripped his knee up. How the hell they have Kansas City as the AFC West champs? You have to understand. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I was talking to my buddy Sal yesterday, or on Monday, and we were talking about this. He was like, man, did you see the rankings that they had? They have the Broncos in 4th place this upcoming year, then the Raiders in 3rd, and then the Chargers in 2nd, and then KC in 1st. I'm like, who is even talking about this? And he said that it was somebody on NFL Network that said it. And I'm like, bro, they must be drinking on some type of juice that's crazy, because the way that is set up is like they're on the Mahomes bandwagon or whatever. They're just still on his on his nuts, you know? So I'm like, why do they keep on doing that with him being out? Like there's nothing that they can justify them being at the top level of the AFC West, especially with the type of team that we currently have. And I know I'm biased on it, but I'm a realist as well. I'll let you know if our team is good or not. But like my buddy Bronco Tiz always says too, we're going 20-0 every year. And if we happen to
Mhm.
lose a game, he goes, all right, we're going 19-1. We're winning this, you know? So you have to have that optimism still, but you have to be a realist as well. So with KC winning the division this upcoming year, they're on the that ganja that makes you hallucinate.
I wholeheartedly agree. And the crazy thing is, uh, just because you have to understand, as long as Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, they're going to favor him. All right. Every single time. They added a running back, a Super Bowl champion running back, they're back. They add who else did they add? They had like a piece during the draft. The Chiefs are back. They re-signed Travis Kelsey. Oh, the Chiefs are back.
But you know, one
Like
thing is like we were talking about this just the other day though, but they did get Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker III. You know, he
yeah,
did go there. That's just going to help them with their run game, but it's still not going to help them with their offensive line. Like he's going to have to do some Barry Sanders moves, I feel like, because their offensive line is not all that great.
they got Eric Bieniemy. Oh, the Chiefs are back. Like
Yeah.
just because they did all these moves does not mean that they're automatically going to take the West. They have to do more than that to contend with these Denver Broncos. All right. And I am still not convinced, as Libre mentioned earlier, that Patrick Mahomes is going to be a healthy 100% by week one. If they trot him out there, they are literally gambling with their future in Patrick Mahomes. And you do not go out and sign a guy like Justin Fields without knowing that he may be the person that's going to have to do a whole lot more carrying on this team than Minshew did when he was there. So again, the Broncos are the AFC West defending champions. They are the team to beat. Kansas City, I don't believe is going to come anywhere near close to them because they still got a lot of stuff to figure out, regardless of all their new additions. The Raiders are rebuilding, so they can catch us by surprise. I won't deny that, or anybody by that matter. But they got a lot of things that they still have to figure out. They got a Kubiak wearing the black and white now, which is really, really sucks to say. But hey, it is what it is. I still think that the Chargers are going to probably be the thorn that's going to keep continue being on our side, just for the simple fact that we really should have beat them last year. And I don't like the way that both of those games ended, but
But you know what? I blame, again, like we say, we blame Johnny because he was there.
Yeah. The Colts game.
I said it before.
Yeah. Johnny and Jay were there at the Colts game, so I yeah, that was on them. We lost because of that game. Or because they were there. Mary with Drink says, Bo is a dog. We all seen him finish that game like a champ, even jog to the huddle. With a dog like that leading us, I'm optimistic and excited for the foreseeable future. And then your cousin saying, what's happening, Bronco? Oh, go ahead, Libra. You do it better.
What's happening, primo? What's going on?
He says, I've been working a lot lately, but I can't wait for the scheduled release. Hey, man. If you're Mexican, it's what we do better than anybody. Work.
Hey, are you trying to? Hey, we don't want to keep on saying that because Rihanna's gonna get us canceled, bro.
Again? It's like again. This is Broncos country. Yes, the frick it is. And maybe there'll be one day, Libre. Maybe there'll be one day where actual NFL analysts, not people on TikTok or Broncos fans of Broncos country, that will actually give the Broncos their due diligence and their roses, so to speak, in terms of saying, hey, this is the team that you guys have to go beat. Again, let me reiterate, if you're just tuning in, every single early predictions video I've seen for the last 3 days have the Broncos number one in terms of, hey, this is going to be the team that goes to the Super Bowl next year. Winning it, that's a different conversation we need to have because it all depends on who's lining up on the opposite side of the field from the Broncos. I don't think it's going to be Seattle. This is an early prediction. I don't think it's going to be Seattle because Seattle's defense got gutted. And again, not to take anything away from that offense that they had, but as Libre mentioned, their running back left. They kind of have to rebuild a little bit. They got the Rams nipping at their heels. The Cardinals are just the Cardinals. And the 49ers, if the 49ers can get healthy, maybe they can be a surprise entrant. But in terms of taking that division, probably not. They need to play an entire season healthy for Libre to see what they can do in terms of contention.
Notorious, what do you think?
So, I mean, I've seen this for like the past 5 years where we're always down on their list. Um, when it comes to how we are now, especially with Bo, I feel like we're still underdogs. I mean, you
Yep.
look at Kansas. Like, if they were really confident with Patrick Mahomes, like, why sign a guy like Justin Fields? It's kind of like with us too. Like, we could have signed Aaron Rodgers too, but we didn't do that. Why didn't we do that? It's probably because maybe Bo's gonna be ready by then. I mean, just throwing out some facts, and they do have good points. Like, they got a pretty good player in the draft. We'll wait and see. And they got Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker. Let's keep in mind too, not to take anything away from him. He's he's been injury prone for quite a while. I think last season was the only season that he ever played a full season healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then let's keep in mind too, their offensive line. I mean, they still have that one guy that pretty much held Patrick Mahomes when they went against the
Mm-hmm.
Eagles. So, I mean, the Nick Wrights in the world are gonna automatically say like, "Oh, the Chiefs are gonna win it again. Patrick Mahomes is gonna be the next Tom Brady." Like, okay, let's settle down for a minute. Let's not forget like all the hard work and whatnot. Chargers are always gonna be the thorn. I do agree on that. But I mean, with us, we're the reigning, defending AFC champions. You really think we're gonna take that take that to a bare minimum? No. I mean, this is a wait and see kind of team. So I'm excited for this upcoming season. I'm excited to see what Sean has in mind for us, especially David Webb. I'm looking forward to seeing the offense for us to really light up compared to last season.
No, I agree with you 100%. And like bringing up with Kenneth Walker III, you have to remember last year on Seattle, he was the backup running back.
Mhm.
So because of their starter running back got injured there late in the season, that's the only reason why he got that opportunity to go out there and play. And I feel that's part of why he was able to stay healthy all season long, is because he didn't play much up until the last part of the season. So when it came down to it, like I was even saying right during the Super Bowl, I even told my son, I was like, hey, I can see Kenneth Walker III being the MVP of this game because the Patriots do not have a defense that is going to be able to stop the run. And he just run that ball hard. And that's part of the reason, like, what was it? Almost, I think, was it a record for rushing yards and so forth in a
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl? It was
Yeah.
because of that. And I called it right away. I go, I wouldn't be surprised him getting it. I go, yes, this is his contract year. Like, Seattle's not going to put a franchise tag on him because it's too much for him because he's not the starting running back. And of course, look what happened. They just let him go, walk away, and KC was smart enough to go out there and get him.
Yeah. Again, like you said earlier, I agree with you. He is going to help them with their running game, but I don't think it's going to be like, hey, he's going to take us to another Super Bowl and he's going to do like, no,
Yeah.
I don't like there's some, you guys have to understand that there's a fire in Kansas City and nobody's either paying attention to it or they're just kind of downplaying it like, oh, it's just something minor, it's nothing to worry about, like that whole Wizard of Oz act, like pay no attention to the man behind the curtain type of thing. So
Look at this. We have to follow the request. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's go!
Let's go,
Broncos!
Broncos! Woo!
Now I want you to send us a video of it.
Let's go, Broncos.
There it is. See, he even said it.
Oh man, it makes me wish I had a beer too. I keep forgetting to stop at the liquor store on Wednesdays. I know, Libre. I
Let's
know.
get a big bottle of Hornitos. Let's go.
I just meant the beer. I'm not trying to get messed up. I got to go to work tomorrow.
Same.
Pero not crudo. Yeah. And then your cousin jumping in saying, I still believe in this organization. We are built to win now and for a few years to come. I will say,
Agreed.
Agreed as well. To piggyback off this comment, guys, there's this video that I saw, and I forgot to send it to Libre. But it's basically kind of, talking about how Bo Nix coming to Denver was like Sean Payton literally taking a risk, because we saw what he did when he got here and what he tried to do with Russell Wilson, and obviously the game against the Dolphins, which was the biggest, worst loss in Denver Broncos franchise history. But ever since that game, like something clicked. Like what Sean Payton was doing started to work. And I don't know if I told you this before, Notorious, but they came here to Chicago after that Miami game, and I was at that game, and that first half was terrible for the Broncos. They were down like 20 something. And then the following half, they came back and the Broncos won that game. And they upset a lot of Bears fans, that game. And my voice almost gone because I was laughing so hard on my way out the stadium.
If you don't run out of bounds and stop the clock, I'm just saying.
Yeah. You're right.
I think my favorite part in that game was just seeing Jonathan Cooper intercept and take it all the way back on Justin Fields. I even got to ask him about that game. I was just like, did he say anything after you when he was like running up behind you? He was like, he probably did, but I wasn't listening. I was just going all the way.
I mean, that was just
That's
not
funny.
only was that blown coverage, but you could see the fear in Justin Fields' eyes. And the smart thing for him to do was just to go down with the ball. But he tried to, I don't know, Mahomie magic his way out of it. And that was like the worst thing that can happen, because Jonathan Cooper was just like, give me that. But it just goes to show you. And again, up until that moment, like for some reason, like a part of me, and I was probably the only person in Broncos country left that still believed that maybe there was something, because we heard everything that was going on with Russell Wilson, and how they benched him, and they were using that excuse about his injury clause or whatever to not have him out there. And then we just saw Jarrett Stidham try to do something. And we just weren't seeing it. We weren't feeling it. I say we because I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one that felt that Jarrett Stidham was not the guy that Sean Payton can really hitch his wagon to and say, hey, you're going to take us to the next level. Because if you can't beat a lowly team like the Raiders in that game, then that to me is a bunch of red flags in terms of like, are you serious? This is who you're going to try to sell us next year? Like Jarrett Stidham? Like, no way. I thought he was going to be gone, to be honest with you. And Libre has mentioned that he did get an offer from the Patriots, but he turned it down to stay with Denver. And Sean Payton obviously took the risk, picked up Bo Nix. Bo Nix was rusty at first, just like every rookie quarterback, obviously. The difference is that Bo Nix didn't give in to the pressure. He learned from his mistakes. And in that game against Tampa Bay, a game that a lot of people had the Broncos losing and just getting because it's Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield had already torched the Broncos before when he was with the Rams in that Christmas Day massacre from a couple of years before. So, but they went in there and they shut that Tampa team down. And that was just the beginning of a beautiful thing like this, to tell Broncos country, like, hey, we got something here, and to see Bo Nix kind of gradually grow into that, like, hey, I'm starting to get the gist of it. And I haven't seen Bo Nix play in person yet. Bronco Libre has seen him play a bunches of times, so he can tell you what he saw
Just one or
from
two.
what he. You only seen Bo Nix play 1 or 2 times?
1 or 2 times. That's about it. Being sarcastic, bro. Come on.
I was about to say, you better be kidding, because I know you go to every game, every home game. I mean, so it's like it's a beautiful thing to see, and just I love Bronco Libre, but I still hate the fact that all those beautiful moments we talk about, he was there. And I can't call him and ask him what's going on because his phone's in his pocket and he probably can't hear it over the roar of the crowd. So I have to wait until he gets home or the following day, like, hey man, how did the game go? Because I can't find him on TV. There's too many people.
Well, my problem is the cameras never go up to the 5th level anyways to show off all the fans. And that's where the true fans are at. I know with Len at the old Mile High Stadium, the south stands was worth the new stadium. It's not the same like it was back in the day. But I feel like if you are looking at some good true fans, we're up here on the top level.
Hey, I was right there with you, bro. Yeah. I've never said anywhere else but the top.
Well,
what about you, Notorious?
Go ahead.
I mean, top row is like, I feel like one of the best rows because that's how you can see the real fans. The fans that are really tuned in the game, and then sometimes the little out there fans that need to chill out a little bit. But like Libre said, it's a good vibe. I've been closer before, like around the 200 section. It's a good spot, especially when you see everything up close. But being a kid, from here, and kind of having parents from humble beginnings, those spots kind of have more of a how you say trying to think of the word, sentimental value, I guess you could say. So I'm biased when it comes to that.
Yeah, well, I envy you guys because the only Broncos player I've ever met was Carl Mecklenburg, and that he just happened to be at the stadium taking pictures with fans that day. So he's the only football player I've ever met. Bronco Libre's got pictures for days of all the people he's met over the years. And I'm pretty sure you met. I think you just mentioned you met Jonathan Cooper. So.
Oh yes. Oh, and that's Justin Simmons.
Justin Simmons and Cortland.
Oh yeah.
And Cortland Sutton, yeah. And every time I get to the stadium, like, oh yeah, all the players are already inside. I'm like, oh, that sucks.
But this is the most famous guy that I know of, though. That guy.
I thought he was gonna hold up his John Elway signature football. I was about to go bananas. I'm like, you.
Oh, do you want me to go show you that again?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Let me live rent free in my mind that I'm the only person who's ever met John Elway. I think Johnny's met a couple of good football players. I can't remember. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but I'll ask him next time I talk to him. Like, hey, how many players have you met per se? Because I know when he was in Denver that last time. Was it when he was with you, Libre, or
because we had Cody Latimer stop by the tailgate.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Cody Latimer, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Super Bowl 50 champ. He is now coaching one of the teams, I think down in Texas. I think now. It's I can't remember if it's the Arena team or if it's one of the UFL teams. That he's like a wide receivers coach.
Ah,
yeah,
that is interesting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of regulation, which means it's time for Libre and our special guest to go into some overtime. Let's go. And welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. This is Broncos Talk Overtime. If you've never been here before, this is the part of the show where Libre and I, and even our special guest, if you'd like to, can talk about anything that's going on in their lives. Doesn't have to be about football, but if there's a way we can find a way back to talk about the Broncos, and we definitely will. Let me just say, for the record, it has been really great. Actually, we have a comment here saying Top's office tattoo artist and one of the founders of Horseman Tailgate is the tattoo artist for over 40 different Broncos and former Broncos players. So Horseman Tailgate does get blessed with former players during their parties. Let me just say that I've always wanted to get a Broncos tattoo, but my fear of needles will not let me. So unfortunately, I can't do it. I know Bronco Libre has one. Somebody else that I met has a really cool one. I've seen people at the games, they had like smaller ones like right here, or if they're walking around with like sleeveless on their arm, which is great. But unfortunately, I can't do it. I know I'd probably punch the hell out of the tattoo artist if they even tried to get near me with that. So unfortunately, I can't, but I do have a lot of Broncos themed stuff that I wear every day. And if I could wear it at work, I definitely would wear my jersey at work all the time.
You should do it.
I wish. Can't do it.
Why not? You could have it underneath and you can be like Superman and just pop it out.
The best I can do is my Broncos pin that I wear every day, and this band that I've had on for years that I've never taken off since I bought it. So that's about as much as close as I can get. But the rest of the time, it's like I have my satchel, my hat. Mary Bronco says, I have Broncos tattoos on both arms and even orange and blue tattoos on each butt.
You know, one thing that my mom has always said, do not ever get a tattoo. Don't get a tattoo. So I told her that my first tattoo was that Bronco one. This is when the logo first changed back in 97. And then I told her like the following week later, I go, Mom, guess what I just did? I go, I just got a tattoo on my butt. And it says Mom on it. I go, so every time I do a cartwheel, it's gonna say, wow, Mom, wow, Mom, wow, Mom. And she was like, Cabron, did you really get one there on your butt? I go, no, I didn't. But it was just funny because just the way she was.
Wow, Mom. Wow, Mom.
And I can't do cartwheels well, so it didn't happen.
Yeah, it took me a minute to get it. But because I work in the hospitality industry, we have to wear uniforms, Libre. So, well,
it's not very hospital.
But I do envy people that have like these sick Broncos tattoos. Some of them are players. There was one guy who had like the 3 Lombardi trophies on his one arm. Probably saving room for the 4th one coming up soon. But it's just kind of like, why don't they make the ones like the temporary tattoos where you just stick them on, but they're not temporary, they stay on.
You know, like, I don't know if you've ever seen Lenny's tattoo. He actually has a nice tattoo that's like right here when he pulls it out, and it's the logo of the Horseman itself. It's pretty cool. If you go onto his social media, like, you could see it, and it's like, you're like, dang, that's a dope tattoo, or like a logo just for the Horseman.
It really is. I was telling Libre that the thing that surprises me the most, or surprised me, is that 2015 year of how many Broncos fans there are in Chicago. Because I always felt like I was the only one. Because up until then, I had never seen another person wearing Broncos gear, like, ever. Never. And when they did like a group watch party thing where Miles was gonna come and like 2 or 3 of the cheerleaders before the Broncos played the Bears. Unfortunately, they got snowed in, so me and my dad still went because my dad just wanted to go. And the amount of Broncos fans, and this was in Wrigleyville, where the Chicago Cubs play, where like 99% of people in that area are all Cubs fans. but the amount, it was Broncos country everywhere. The only people that weren't wearing orange and blue were the people that were working at that bar. But it was so fantastic just getting to see all these Broncos fans. And I even asked them, like, what are you guys from all out of town? They're like, no, we live in the suburbs. We live in the north side. Some of them came from the south. And it's like, oh, that's what's up, bro. Like it's crazy. Like I found my people, Libre.
Like there should be, I know like every major city has like say like a Broncos bar or something like that, some type of community in different locations. I'm sure if you look that up, you're gonna find a community there in Chicago that everyone's part of, that you can go maybe even to watch parties if you're not gonna sit there at home watching the game or whatever. Like guaranteed you'll probably find somewhere that there's a Broncos bar that you probably don't are aware of that is gonna be playing the Broncos game all the time, and they have Broncos stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I actually did. I found one last month. It's a bar again near Wrigleyville, of all places, and I reached out to them, and they accepted me in their group. So I'm hoping to go in a couple Sundays and go down there and see.
Yeah.
Supposedly from the pictures that they put up, it looks like it's sold out every Sunday. It's all Broncos country. So I may have found a new spot to go hang out and drink with instead of watching at home. I don't know yet, but hopefully the vibe is as good as it says on the description and the pictures. But it's great. And right here it says in Vegas, Jake's Bar. He played for the Broncos in the 605 in the I think I mean 60. Sorry, thought that's 65. And his Broncos, yeah, and his Broncos bar is beyond amazing with the Broncos decor and memorabilia. I've been to Vegas. I don't remember a Jake's Bar.
Well, because you stayed on the strip, you have to go off the strip. No, I'm just kidding. I actually don't know where it's at, but thank you for that. So when I do go to Vegas, I'm gonna definitely go there.
Yeah, I wish I'd have known sooner. I would have stopped by.
One thing that before we go on and before we exit, for anyone that's on the show now and that didn't hear earlier, is that with our special guest here with Notorious, he is currently up for the Artist of the Year through Johnny Depp. So on Facebook, just follow any of our pages itself, because I know I'm going to share it here tonight afterwards and whatnot. But please go out there and vote. Go and get him the Artist of the Year through Johnny Depp presenting it, so forth. Go check out his art. Like if you click on his page, like I'm going to get the link as well. Like it's going to show you all of his art that he has done. He does phenomenal job. So if everybody that's out there right now, please go out there. You can go vote once a day. And if you needed to get any more votes out there, please reach out to Married with Drinks and Sandy Lulu to get the $10 extra so that you can get out $10 more votes. So thank you, Married with Drinks. You guys are awesome for doing that for everyone. I'm just kidding on that. They were not going to do that. But again, it's $10 if you want to get an extra 10 votes for him out there. Please go out there and do that. Notorious is a great individual. The stuff that he has done, not only for the community, but for the sports athletes here in town, is phenomenal. So please go out there and vote for him.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Definitely. And if you would like to donate to my cause to save up money to buy this network, I will send you an autographed picture of myself like this with a thumbs up.
Or wait, I can do something better. I'm going to say I can do something better. A signed copy of a program.
I swear there's nothing I can tell Libre that will top him, because he's got me beat every single time.
I don't try to. It just happens, bro.
And that's actually true. For those of you that don't know, that's literally the first time I ever heard of Bronco Libre, was when I saw that flyer when they were giving him out at that game. And at first I thought he was like one of those really like super fans that you hear about. Like here in Chicago, we have the Bear Man, and they did a documentary about him, and how he gets ready every day, and he's been going to every Bears game since like the 70s, I think 70s or 80s, something of that caliber. So that's who I thought Bronco Libre was. I'm like, hey, this guy made it. He's on the program cover. Thousands of people are seeing his face. So, and the only thing I didn't realize was that the program, if you fold it open, it actually has a really cool picture of what is it, Libre? The
Well, it's here. Let me just.
because I
It's
remember I
the
saw somebody open it.
Por la Cultura logo
Yeah.
that they created, which is actually, if you see it, it's this logo right here.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's the logo. That's the logo that's in the middle, but it's like more of a like an artsy type of thing that they did.
Mm-hmm. So I remember I saw it and my nephew showed it to me and I was like, oh, that is really cool. And it's in Spanish.
Yeah, because there's the Broncos en Español game.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I remember that distinctly, and it was really awesome. And I even told myself, I told my nephew, I'm like, if we see this guy like walking around here, but I thought that Bronco Libre was like behind Sean Payton and the guys. I thought I was like, because that guy's got to be like living the good life, or he's in the suite somewhere. I had no idea that Bronco Libre was literally like a couple sections away from me.
Literally, we're like maybe 2 or 3 sections away, bro.
If he'd have probably gotten up to get some more nachos like I did, we probably would have passed each other, not even known it. I was like, oh snap. But I'm trying to make it out to a Broncos game this year. I don't know which one I want to go to yet.
So my question for this, and I was actually had somebody who's a 49ers fan on my TikTok earlier, and we are talking about it. I was like,
Mhm.
if the Broncos go out there and play the 49ers down in Mexico City because they have a game in Mexico City, and
My hometown.
The Broncos play, the 49ers in San Francisco this year. And if that could be a potentially like the home game for them in Mexico City. But I have heard that they've also 1 second. So they have probably I think they've requested not to play the Broncos during that time frame only because Mexico City is at altitude. And they've
Mhm.
already said we don't want to basically pay the Broncos because they have that advantage already. So I just posted in our chat. I hope it came up. Let me see. I think it's taking a little bit, but I tried to post the link of voting for Notorious itself if it goes through.
Jorge Montoya jumping and saying, "What's happening? Shout out Notorious. Go win that contest, my boy."
Yeah. Hey, do you even Broncos, bro? Hey, I don't know if you saw the comment earlier from Fanatic Dak or not, but they just invited you for to appear on the show on Monday.
Get out of town.
Look it up.
No notification. Did they send it to my inbox?
No. In the comments.
I didn't see it, I swear.
Exactly, because you're blind.
I literally am blind. I think I need glasses.
Yeah, Dak sent you the message for Monday.
They got to remind me like Monday morning so that way I know to make time to be on the show.
We're reminding you right now. That's what's happening. Tell him, do you even Broncos, bro?
Trying to talk Libre to moving his tailgate next to ours. He can plug his speakers into our DJ and we'll get that whole side loud and owning the lot. I still don't know. Libre has told me like 1,000 times. And the only thing that comes to my mind is that stupid lady I argued with when she tried to charge me $85 for parking. That's the only thing that comes to my mind. But Libre told me, yeah, we're over here by this part. And I'm like, I'm trying to picture the stadium in my head, but I just don't see it. All I see is that freaking parking lot.
So where the Horseman tailgate at? Do you know where the player entrance is at? They're on the south side of the stadium. So they have it blocked off. They have the fence up and it's blocked out there. So the Horseman tailgate is just right behind that.
You're gonna have to send me a map. Well, actually, no, Libre, because I think we said that you're gonna pick me up from my hotel room. So,
well, if you're gonna be coming with me at 4:00 in the morning, so we can get in line, yes.
Yeah,
that's what Broncos bros do.
Because I don't think the Uber is going to be able to get all the way to you. He's going to tell me like, "Hey, this is as far as I go. You can go. You got to walk the rest of the way."
That's why you get there early.
And your cousin jumping in saying home opener, Adon. That's the one you want to go to. You know what? You're not wrong. I'm still trying to save up money because, as you guys know, airfare is not the cheapest right now with everything going on in the world. So I always say every year I'm going to try. I'm going to try, and I'm going to say it again this year. I'm going to try. Uh, I had to cheap out last year, and I just went to the Colts game because it is literally just a couple hours away from me, a drive. It was a nice drive, mind you. But as nice as going to see other, and by the way, shout out to all the Broncos fans again that came out for that Colts game because I was not Libre. Johnny and I were not expecting it to be that many Broncos fans. I could swear to you there were more Broncos fans in that Colts stadium than there were Colts fans, and that's a fantastic, fantastic thing to say.
One thing is like 8 years ago, we went to Arizona for that game over there. I kid you not, it was 50-50 with Bronco fans to Cardinals fans. We play them again this year. That might be a road trip game that we've talked about going down to again this year. And I still going to say that the Broncos country is still going to overtake them.
Frontier has $59 flights from Chicago. Stop making excuses. The only way I fit on a Frontier plane is if you take the seats in front of me out. But I can't.
That's why you sit in the emergency exit, bro.
If it were up to me, I'd probably just stand. But unfortunately, they won't let me do that. But Frontier airplanes are they're not meant for tall, fluffy guys like me. So I'm going to unfortunately have to settle for, well, I've only ever flown United and Southwest. I can't. They're gone.
Oh, yeah. They stopped over the weekend. I remember that. That's
yeah. And their planes were just as short as the Frontier planes. It's why you were able to fly for so cheap, because people were literally tucked in there like sardine cans. But no, I'm going to go to Denver this year because I definitely need to go to make up for the fact that I didn't go last year. But I just need to figure out airfare and travel and all that stuff. And I actually have Libre this time. If I would have met Libre even the day that I was leaving, because me and my nephew were just driving around Denver and we didn't know where the frick we were going. We were just driving around downtown because our flight wasn't until later on that day. So we were just trying to find things to do. And we were trying to find something somewhere good to eat downtown Denver, have something we never had in a while. And we ended up going to Giordano's, which is we have a bunch of those here in Chicago.
And it's just right there 2 blocks from my office.
Yeah, and Libre told me I was 2 blocks away from his job. So I was like, I could have visited Bronco Libre if Johnny would have called me a few hours earlier and told me well, you're there. Go say hi to him. I was like, oh, that's crazy. But I know which ones Libre talk about because I told Libre that we went to a souvenir shop just a couple stores over from that Giordano's. So he knows where we were.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's crazy. But I hope to get I don't even know if he can give me a tour because I drove all around downtown Denver. Unless there's spots in Denver I don't know.
Yeah, I do know a spot that you don't know. The DMVR bar, bro.
Oh, the one that I sat outside of for 10 minutes trying to figure out if I can bring in my nephew or not.
Yeah.
Because my dumb ass thought that it was an actual a bar. Now
it is a bar.
No, a bar you have to be over 21 to go inside type of thing. And it's no, I could have brought him in, it was just fine.
So my question, I guess, to you on that is that do they have those in Chicago where if you're not 21, you can't go in? And I'm not talking about clubs. I'm not talking about clubs because that's what we have that here as well. During the day, do they not offer food wise? And you can't have anyone.
I'm pretty sure they do, but nothing like DNVR bar.
So you have to
Like
know
here,
DNVR bar is a sports bar, so it has
yeah,
food and do all that. So they welcome everyone, even under 21. They just can't drink alcohol.
yeah. I mean, as far as I know, there isn't anything like that where it's like completely bears bear down type of thing,
Okay.
like from wall to wall, head to toe. Like the closest you'll probably get to that is like maybe a Twin Peaks or a Hooters,
Okay.
honestly, because they're the ones that have the games on 24, well, not 24/7, but all the time. That's their stick. So
Yep.
and great wings though.
Really? Just the wings?
Just the wings. It's the
Just
reason
the
I go.
wings?
It's the reason I go once a month, just for the wings, and I will die on that hill. We got some suggestions here. Rome Saloon and Rico's Burritos. Can't wait.
Yes. Like, oh yeah, Rico's Burritos right by us. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're nice and hefty. And my thing is like I don't like that a lot of the good burrito places here in town are not open on Sundays. I'm like, how
Oof.
could you not be open on Sundays? Like that's like the crazy thing for me. Um, and then Rome's, if you're going to have Rome's, just know that they have some good drink specials there. Uh, and it's in a little sketchy part of the neighborhood, but it's pretty cool though. But before we do sign off, I want Notorious to tell us anything about whatever you're doing, what's going on, what's happening in your life right now.
So I got back from a trip. Been AWOL for the past 2 weeks, but while I was gone, I definitely have a bunch of projects in mind, shoe wise, jacket wise, Broncos wise, especially for our new addition, Jalen Waddle. Which I'm excited, especially if we bring back the Christmas uniforms we wore against Kansas.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the
So
white helmet.
yes, the white helmet and
Yeah.
then the away jersey. That's such a clean look for me.
Freaking
So
sweet.
oh yeah, so I got that in the works here. And then hopefully I got something for Jalen Waddle. Yeah, see, like those. There you go. That's one of my favorite
So
helmets ever, snow capped.
who's that signature? I know it's hard to tell, but number 49,
49.
Alex Singleton,
Oh, Singleton. Okay, shoot, that's a nice one. All right.
right there.
Who else you got?
Old timer, right there. Steve Foley,
Oh wow. Okay.
Ooh, that's a good one.
and then Mr. Hall of Famer Randy Gradishar.
Wow.
I met
Okay.
Randy. Really cool guy.
Randy's such a cool guy, and like what was crazy when this is the year that he got into the Hall of Fame,
Mhm.
and I got this during the preseason, and he couldn't yet say Hall of Famer on it. He goes,
Oh
man,
yeah.
I can't do it. I was like, can you put Hall of Fame on it? He goes, I can't do it quite yet, but yeah, I was like, okay, no worries. I go, I understand, I get it, but
Mhm.
super cool guy.
Yeah, he was really chill.
Oh yeah. He's a
It's
really
it's
nice guy.
it's very rare when I hear somebody say like, "Wow, I feel small next to you," and for him to say that under his breath before he took a picture, I was like, man, that was awesome.
See, look, when you come into town, look who you're going to be meeting up at the Horseman's Tailgate.
Randy and Carl come to our tailgate to eat sometimes. Well, let me just say, I'm not to take away from your time, Notorious, but I just want to say that I'm not a fan of burritos because I don't like the flour it's made out of. So I'm good. I will not pass up some tacos or a torta or two, or pozole. Pozole on a Sunday. Oh, they go hand in hand, bro. It's
Like I'm not gonna lie, there's like later on in the season when we're there in November, sometimes in December, we'll make some pozole to have at the tailgate.
I will take menudo as a hefty backup because that menudo is also delicious
Oh yeah.
if you know about it. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of today's show. Libre and I would like to thank our special guest, Notorious, for being here with us again today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Mary with Drinks, Juan Marquez. Who else did we have in here? We saw the boss was in here. Jay Weaver. D-Rock was in here. Just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. If I did miss you, I do apologize. But Denver D-Mark, the guys from the Broncos Bros and the Mahai Outcast, they were in here showing some love. George,
George.
thank you guys so much for being here with us. Thank you guys so
Metlock.
much again. Saying amazing episode. And I am bougie Starbucks guy because he's too good for 7-Eleven Coke. No, no. First of all, I'm a McDonald's or a Dunkin' Donuts guy. I've only bought Starbucks coffee one time, and I only did it to impress a chick, and it didn't even work. So I will admit that the coffee was decent. I don't know what the hell I was ordering because I'm not a Starbucks person. I don't know the venti from a large and the foam and that crazy order way people. It's like a different language, damn near, for Starbucks coffee. But just for the record, I am not bougie. I am a cheap date. But just before we head on out of here, guys, just a quick reminder: if you could subscribe, share, comment, and like on this and all of our previous videos, we really do appreciate it. Your support goes a long way to help us spread the word to Broncos country that Libre and I are here. Always well appreciated. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here with us live. Audio listeners, regardless of what platform you're listening us to, please feel free to hit us up on any regardless platform. 5-star reviews are much appreciated. If you like, you can screenshot it, send it to our socials, and Libre and I will read your comments or reviews out live on the air, as well as give you our thanks and thumbs up for your continued support of us here on the show. My Twitter handle is at 6'10" Mexican. Bronco Libre is at Bronco Libre 5280. Notorious, do you have any social medias you want to plug?
Instagram, Notorious Art Collection.
Notorious Art Collection, indeed. And guys, please make sure Notorious has got some of the coolest Broncos art I have ever seen. So make sure you hit him up. Make sure you get a piece of that art before it gets put in a Smithsonian or one of those museums and locked away forever, and then you're never going to be able to get it, and then you're going to regret it for the rest of your lives. Shout out to W for being a continued sponsor of this and all the shows here on the network. If you use the code OBN10, you'll get 10% off your order at checkout. Shout out to W for being a continued sponsor of this and all the shows here on the Orange and Blue Network. Ladies and gentlemen, we are... Oh, and business inquiries, you can email at broncostalk2020@gmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head on out of here. Thank you once again to our special guest, and thank you guys for being here with us. We will see you all here next week. Same Bronco time, same Bronco channel. We are heading out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening time, whatever it is you're watching. And as always, go Broncos! Let's go!